Welcome back to my channel. My name's Amit. Today I'm going to show you a further update to my current project. This is still very much work in progress, so after the intro I'll get back to you. Welcome back. So what you see in front of you is I've got a couple of windows open. On the left hand side is my web browser, which is showing a simple application I've written in Python using Flask and Jinja2. And on the right hand side I have VS Code where I've got my Python app running. And I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of how this works. So the Python app itself is actually, what it's doing is actually running a command in this function, which is returning a list of instances that are using LXC and LXD to run either QEMU virtual machines or LXC containers. So it's returning a function which is running this command, which is returning a list of those instances. And we're also returning quantities in relation to those instances. So, and you'll see that being displayed on the left hand side. So that's all the web front end is. However, in the background, I've got a command line tool, which I have been working on for about a year, which I'll quickly show you. So the command line tool looks at this file on the left hand side called file.toml. And inside that file, I've actually defined instances. So each instance will have a name, will have a type. In this case the type would be VM, or it could be container. We also have the name of the image that we're pulling from the remote repository. At this moment in time that remote repository is managed by the owners of Ubuntu, Canonical. And we also configure each instance for the size of the RAM, the number of CPU cores, and I've added another couple of flags here which is protected, which is not used at this moment in time, and secure boot. So in the majority of cases we can use secure boot when creating the VM and starting it, and this is only applicable to VMs, not containers. But I have come across specific VM types or OS types where secure boot doesn't work, which is Arch Linux and Alpine Linux. So I've set the secure boot flag to 0. So that's the file.toml. So that file is called by another script I've written called linux_stack, and it's written in Python. So just as a quick background, I'm calling that file here and I'm reading through it, and it's reprocessing the file and creating the instances. So I've actually written this myself, and I'm actually using subprocess to run the commands once they've been configured or set up in the script. There is an LXD API which I'll probably be looking to migrate to in the future as well. So but that'll be something to do for a future project. So at this moment in time, we don't have any instances running. So I'm just going to go, if I go to my bash shell here and just do LXC list. We don't have any instances running at this moment in time. So I'm going to actually run this command or run this script, Linux stack, and it's going to start building the stack out as well. So, and what I will do is I'll stop talking and start this process, and the next part of the video will be speeded up. So from the TOML file, the virtual machines have already been created, so that's 10 of them. The script is now going to go ahead and create the LXC containers. So while it's going ahead and creating those containers, I will just maybe explain in a little bit more detail what I'm doing with the front end as well. So I've got a Python app called frontend.py, which I showed at the start of this video, and it's just returning some values. The app itself also uses a HTML file called lab.html, so I'm just going to reference that as well. So the lab.html is referenced there, so I'm going to go to the lab.html file here on the left hand side, and it's a very simple HTML file, and I'm using some simple logic in here to read in the data and to process it as well. And I'm also using a CSS style sheet to format the data and set up the colors and the tables. I can quickly show you that as well, which is here. So it's a very simple style sheet. So I've not actually, for full transparency, I'm not actually a web developer, and it's not something I've done before. So this is something I'm actually learning to do for the first time. So it's quite interesting. It's a quite interesting side project for me as well. So yeah, so we're just going to let that script carry on running. So it looks like from the output there's another 7 containers it needs to create. So I will stop talking and speed up the rest of the segment. The lab is now up and running. All 10 virtual machines and all 10 containers have been created. That's also been displayed in the simple web application you can see on the left hand side of the screen. So what I wanted to do is to say, if you wanted to get hold of this, these scripts and run it yourself, I will be recording a video in the near future, and maybe over the next couple of weeks or so, and I'll explain how to do that step by step. There are some dependencies you may need to set up, especially when it comes to Python. You would probably need to run the script to create the instances. You would probably you would need to update pip, install Python, update pip, and install the relevant dependencies. I'm looking to automate that in the next iteration of this work as well, to save the pain of doing that. So if I go to that particular script, so if I go to the top, there's various imports that might need to be taken care of, that you might need to install. So, and I will also go through that process of setting this up on a new install as well in the next video. Going back to the front end, you'd also need to import the relevant dependencies for Flask as well. So I'll also cover this process as well, and maybe do it in a virtual environment or virtual environment in Python. I'm also looking to split this work up as well into a separate branch, so that if you're interested in running this in your own lab at home, you'll just be downloading the scripts or the tools you need without having to worry about the rest of this. So we'll be looking to make this a lot cleaner. And that's about it from me. Thank you very much for getting to the end of this video. Please click on like if you like this video. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel if you like the content I put out. And also, please do not forget to hit the notification bell, so you can be notified when I upload further videos in future. And thank you so much again